Connecticut woman murdered with an axe in her own home in front of her little boy. Well, her family is now suing the police department.
On the fateful date of December 6, 2022, in the serene community of Milford, a chilling narrative of affection, deceit, and calamity unwound. The centerpiece of this horrifying saga was Julie Minogue, a 40-year-old mother of 3. She was discovered in an unfortunate state, lifeless on the kitchen floor of her condominium. Amid the chaos, her 17-year-old son made a brave call to 911 to report an assault on his mother by an unidentified man. Regrettably, the arrival of law enforcement officers was a moment too late. Julie had already succumbed, leaving behind a family devastated by this incomprehensible loss. The lingering questions remain. Who was this mysterious assailant? What were the circumstances leading to the tragic end of Julie Minogue? Nestled on the Connecticut coastline, Milford enchants with its quintessential charm and thriving community. Overlooking the Long Island Sound, its scenic city spans slightly beyond 25 square miles and is home to more than 50,000 residents. Distinguished for its idyllic beaches, Milford draws both locals and tourists who are captivated by its picturesque landscapes and enticing waterfront activities. The city's rich colonial history is mirrored in its architecture, creating a harmonious blend of the past and present. Unbeknownst to the inhabitants of Milford, a tragedy was looming in 2022. However, before we delve into that, let's journey back to the early 80s and explore Julie Minogue's story. Born on July 19, 1982, in the delightful town of Goshen, New York, Julie was the beloved daughter of Gerald J. Minogue and Sandra Barash-Doper. She grew up in an affectionate family atmosphere with her sister, Alison Barotti Corcoran, and brother, Peter Gerald Minogue. Julie was an academically gifted student, beginning her education at the revered Monroe Woodbury schools before graduating from Monroe Woodbury High School. She continued to broaden her intellectual horizons at Orange County Community College, eagerly embracing every opportunity for growth and discovery along her educational journey. Upon completing her college education, Julie Minogue embarked on a career as a committed medical assistant at Connecticut Coastal Obstetrics Gynecology, finding fulfillment in diverse areas of her life. She maintained an active lifestyle, regularly participating in running and walking activities to stay invigorated. Nonetheless, her ultimate passion was motherhood, raising her 2 sons, Nicholas Keith Turner and Sean Michael Turner, with immeasurable dedication and love. The specifics of her marital life remain undisclosed. Julie's remarkable devotion as a single mother significantly shaped the resilient bond she shared with her sons. In 2017, Julie's life took a loving turn when she started a relationship with Yuan Anthony DeWitt, a man from Roxbury. Their love story led to the birth of their son, Luke Anthony Minogue, in 2019. However, subsequent challenges in their relationship led to Julie's decision to part ways with Yuan in 2021. Prioritizing her children's welfare, she relocated with her sons to a condominium in Salem Walk, Milford. As of 2022, Nicholas, the eldest son at 21, has courageously served his nation in the Coast Guard. Sean, at 17, is a dynamic youngster making strides as a high school senior. Despite the hurdles, Julie continues to nurture and prioritize her children's well-being, demonstrating her unwavering commitment as a mother. Luke, the 3-year-old son of Julie and Yuan, was a beacon of joy in their family. At 40, Julie was content with her life and her 3 sons. However, an impending tragedy was about to shatter their peaceful existence. In the late hours of December 6, 2022, teenager Nicholas Minogue was abruptly roused from sleep by distressing cries. Initially, he dismissed the noise, attributing it to possible echoes from the neighborhood. Yet, as the screams intensified and gained a desperate edge, he came to a horrifying realization that something was gravely amiss. Nicholas, propelled by worry for his mother, hurriedly dashed down the stairs. In the enveloping darkness, he was met with a sight that sent chills down his spine. A man threateningly brandishing an axe, and his mother lying motionless on the floor, a body awash with blood. Amid the pandemonium, he heard the eerie words, "You didn't believe me," echoing ominously. Taken over by fear, Nicholas retreated upstairs at breakneck speed, swiftly barricading himself behind the safety of a locked door. He immediately dialed 911, recounting the gruesome scene he had just witnessed. For added security, he placed a solid chair behind the locked door, reinforcing his protective barrier. In a state of panic, he unlatched his window and, in desperation, sought help. Almost instantaneously, law enforcement arrived, entering the premises. The terrified adolescent, however, flung himself out of the window in his fear. It was then that the shouts of the Milford PD reached his ears, alerting him that the voices did not belong to the intruder. The authorities eventually located the brave teenager and guaranteed his safety. A heart-wrenching scene unfolded when the police went into the kitchen. Julie Minogue was found lifeless, submerged in a pool of blood. Her countenance and cranium bore the brunt of numerous deep lacerations. A ghastly sight presented itself when they noticed a sizable axe on the stove, bearing the marks of the atrocious crime. Concurrently, in the living room, Julie's infant son Luke, merely 3 years old, was perched on the sofa, in a state of shock and unresponsiveness. Not a single tear dropped nor a word spoken, as though he was paralyzed by the shock. The officers remained by his side, providing comfort and support until reinforcements reached the scene. Following the unfortunate death of Julie, her remains were delicately transported to the chief medical examiner's office in Connecticut for a comprehensive post-mortem analysis. The medical examiner, after a rigorous autopsy, attributed her death to severe lacerations and blunt force trauma to her head, torso, and limbs. These precise observations provided pivotal insight into the violent nature of the attack, illuminating the tragic circumstances of her premature death. Upon procuring the axe discovered on the gas range, law enforcement officers meticulously inspected every aspect of the scene, committed to uncovering any latent evidence that could steer them towards the culprit. Within the house, a thorough search was initiated, scrutinizing each corner for potential leads that could unravel the atrocity committed. The ensuing activity attracted the attention of the worried neighbors who congregated nearby. The mood was palpably tense as the residents displayed their readiness to aid the investigation in any capacity possible.
That's what really scared me, because I don't know of anybody in this whole place, unless it's somebody that came in where they weren't supposed to be.
In the midst of the escalating situation, a cooperative neighbor presented an unforeseen piece of evidence: security camera footage from his residence at Long Meadow Complex. The law enforcement officers promptly capitalized on this opportunity, optimistic that the footage may contain a vital clue. As they scrutinized the video, they were confronted with a disconcerting scene. A figure, axe in hand, was seen walking, closely matching the description provided by Nicholas. This revelation stirred a surge of anticipation among the investigators, as they deduced that they might have stumbled upon a significant lead. Promptly, they initiated an investigation into the identity of the axe-carrying man. On that same day, December 6, 2022, a pivotal development occurred when a distressed woman contacted the police to report an unnerving phone call she received from her son. In a voice laden with fear, she confided the horrifying news that she had received a call from her son, claiming to have killed his girlfriend. The immediacy of her words incited a swift reaction from the police force, who were intent on unearthing the truth. They promptly located the woman and initiated a dialogue. It emerged that the individual behind this grave admission was Ewan DeWitt, a 42-year-old man who once shared a relationship with Julie. Armed with this crucial information, the authorities attempted to contact Yuan, aiming to engage him in a pivotal discussion. Their endeavors, however, were met with resistance when Yuan ended the call abruptly. Consequently, it became necessary for the police to delve into Yuan's past, which they surmised could offer them the essential details needed for further investigation. Yuan Anthony Dewitt, born in Roxbury in 1979, was known for his eclectic range of hobbies and pursuits. Driven by his athletic prowess, Yuan turned his passion for ice hockey into a semi-professional career. His intellectual curiosity was not left untamed, as evidenced by his acquisition of a bachelor's degree in history from Siena College. Never one to settle for a singular career path, he also undertook the rigorous training required to become a firefighter. On top of this, he leveraged his fitness expertise to serve as a personal trainer. Yuan's life took a detour in 2006 when he was arrested in Connecticut for driving under the influence and committing traffic offenses. A guilty plea resulted in a suspended prison sentence and probation. However, instead of letting this moment define him, Yuan used it as a stepping stone to redirect his life's course. In 2009, he joined the esteemed U.S. Marine Corps, entering a new phase as a proficient weapons specialist and non-commissioned officer. His 5-year service was marked by dedication and commitment to his country, culminating in his promotion to Lance Corporal in 2011. A striking photograph from his tenure offers a glimpse into his bravery. Captured in the frame is Lance Corporal Yuan Dewitt, fearlessly manning a potent M2 .50 caliber machine gun on a vehicle during a critical defense operation in the amphibious task and force naval exercise. His journey stands as a testament to resilience and personal growth. On December 3, 2011, an event of significance took place on the deck of the U.S. Gema. A man of leadership and skill, Yuan assumed the responsibility as the machine gun section leader for the prestigious 1st Reconnaissance Battalion. He was a dedicated serviceman, serving multiple tours across Afghanistan, the Middle East, and numerous classified locales alongside his steadfast brothers in arms. Their remarkable journey was chronicled in a 2015 article in the Register Citizen, which spotlighted their collective endeavors to resurrect a sliver of history. However, Yuan's path took a somber turn when he encountered legal hurdles. In November 2019, he was arrested by the Milford police for alleged assault, leading to the court issuing a protective order. The case is yet to reach a conclusion, as court documents indicate that it is still under consideration. Yuan is scheduled to appear in court on April 14, 2023, where he plans to assert his innocence by pleading not guilty. He was released on a $20,000 bond, as he awaits the judicial proceedings to progress. Yuan's past is not without its share of controversy. The disturbing incident from his past reservist, where he was arrested for his actions towards Julie Minogue shortly after their son was born. Allegedly, he hurled a sizable object at Julie and destroyed her phone to hinder her from seeking help. In an alarming episode, Julie, fearing for her personal security, was compelled to seek sanctuary at a neighbor's residence and alert the authorities. This incident underscored the disturbing attributes of Yuan's conduct and its ripple effects on those in his proximity, thereby escalating the gravity of the developing situation. In the year 2021, he was accused of assaulting a woman and emergency personnel in Wake County, North Carolina. Court documents revealed that he confessed to his crimes and was sentenced to a cumulative jail term of 95 days. However, the exact length of his detention remains unconfirmed. These legal confrontations unveiled a consistent trajectory of troubling behavior, prompting further inquiries into Yuan's personality and past deeds. A sinister pattern of violence began to surface amidst Yuan Dewitt's checkered past, with Julie Minogue often being the target. Yuan had several restraining orders filed against him, owing to prior incidents of domestic abuse. These protective measures were enacted in November 2019 and January 2021, aiming to guard not just Julie, but also the children who witness these unsettling situations. A notable incident involved an inebriated Yuan embroiled in a heated dispute with Julie. As per a statement provided by the victim's son, Yuan had hurled a playpen at Julie's head, causing a distressing injury. During Yuan's stint in rehabilitation, Julie made proactive efforts to obtain a restraining order in a bid to shield herself from his detrimental actions.
She had a protective order with the stipulation for visitation, so she could have contact just for arranging visitation.
Despite the prevailing concerns, Yuan was accorded visitation rights, casting a shadow of apprehension over the safety of the parties involved. Alongside their strained relationship, Julie and Yuan DeWitt found themselves embroiled in a series of family court proceedings initiated in 2021. The legal tussle commenced when Julie sought child support for their son, Luke, in August 2021. An adjudication in her favor by a judge in October 2021 mandated Yuan to contribute financially. As the friction intensified, Yuan instigated legal proceedings against Julie in December 2021, aiming for clarity on visitation rights. In response, the court sanctioned supervised visitation for Yuan in April 2022, with a subsequent hearing scheduled for April 2023 to delve further into the issue. These legal skirmishes highlighted the intricacies and obstacles Julie and Yuan faced as they maneuvered their post-relationship landscape. As the probe advanced, it came to light that on November 14, 2022, a mere 3 weeks before her demise, Julie took a pivotal action by lodging a complaint against Yuan at the Milford Police Department. She claimed that despite the presence of a restraining order, he had inundated her with over 200 text messages in a mere 2-day period. Officer Scott Nablin, attuned to Julie's apprehensions, meticulously gathered evidence from her phone, fortifying the case against Yuan. On November 17, 2022, Julie Minogue conveyed her profound concern for her personal safety and her children's welfare in a sworn affidavit, making a fervent appeal for protection. She was resolute in her determination to halt the persistent abuse. She stated, "I don't believe I should endure this mistreatment any longer." Fearful of the consequences, she detailed the relentless harassment she faced. Julie Minogue also wrote in the document that Yuan has got himself into a lot of trouble with drugs and alcohol, and I'm scared he's going to kill me.
The restraining order is what she just went back for recently, and that was obviously for herself and the 3 children because she was obviously in fear of her safety.
In a resolute pursuit of justice, Officer Nablin diligently drafted an arrest warrant, pinpointing Yuan's breach of the protective order. The document, imbued with essential details, underwent a rigorous review by a supervisor to ensure its accuracy and validity. The team ensured that the arrest warrant application provided the necessary probable cause to support the allegation that Yuan DeWitt's text messages contravened the amended protective order issued on January 15, 2021. On November 21, 2022, the court revisited the warrant application, directing it to the Milford State's Attorney's Office. However, the narrative took an unforeseen detour when the conscientious Assistant State's Attorney returned the application to Officer Nablin, requesting additional information before proceeding. In this intricate ballet of law and justice, every advancement required an unwavering commitment to detail. On December 1, 2022, Julie Minogue triumphed in securing a civil restraining order from a judge. During the hearing, which spanned approximately an hour, Julie unveiled evidence of the text messages, Yuan's battle with substance abuse, mental health complications, and a history of violence. She voiced a concern for Yuan's welfare, illustrating his bipolar rage and unpredictable behavior, accentuating the urgency of him receiving appropriate treatment and therapy. Julie remained staunch in her belief that Ewan should be isolated from others until he has accessed the required support and assistance. Acknowledging the immediate threat she was under, a no-contact restraining order was promptly established on December 1st, 2022, creating a lawful barrier to prevent any further engagement with Ewan. Tragically, this precautionary measure took a grim turn when Ewan murdered Julie with an axe in her own condominium just 5 days later. The accumulation of evidence pointed firmly towards Ewan as the primary suspect, prompting a rigorous manhunt. Police meticulously scoured the vicinity of the Salem Walk condominium, leaving nothing unchecked. Their pursuit led them to a local bar on Ocean Avenue in West Haven, where they solicited the help of the community. They engaged bargoers, updating them about the ongoing inquiry, and requested them to alert law enforcement if they encountered Ewan DeWitt. During this unified effort, a pair of astute locals identified an individual fitting the suspect's profile. Keen to assist, they promptly alerted the police with vital information on the suspect's potential location. Interacting with one of the witnesses, who chose to maintain anonymity, the police discovered that the person had spotted someone similar to the suspect loitering in the parking lot for a brief duration. The suspect was spotted entering a food truck parked in the vicinity. Acting on this information, the police quickly descended on the location. Ewan DeWitt was apprehended without any complications on December 6, 2022, taking the investigation a significant step forward towards unraveling the truth. On the early morning of December 6, 2022, law enforcement officials undertook a comprehensive interrogation of Ewan. Despite initially adopting an implacable demeanor and withholding crucial details, a breakthrough emerged following hours of relentless questioning. Ewan ultimately conceded to the horrific act of claiming Julie's life with an axe. He disclosed his stealthy ingress into the home via the kitchen window, biding his time in seclusion to await his unsuspecting victim. Upon Julie's entry into the kitchen, Ewan set upon her, brandishing the axe with lethal determination. It was at this terrifying juncture that Nicholas, Julie's son, came downstairs and witnessed the dreadful scene. Ewan, overpowered by panic, hastily retreated, leaving the incriminating axe on the kitchen's gas stove. Ewan's confession introduced a jolting narrative to the investigation, shedding light on the night's somber events. During Ewan's preliminary court hearing in Milford's State Superior Court on December 7, 2022, Assistant State Attorney Alana Paul communicated to the presiding judge about the case's recent developments. She specified that Ewan had unequivocally confessed to the crime, but opined that the evidence against him was compelling, even without his admission.
I would argue that the case against the defendant is very strong. There is surveillance footage. There is a 17-year-old witness to part of this incident.
Attorney Paul underscored the availability of surveillance footage and the witness account of Julie's son, who had seen part of the incident, as crucial evidence. Given the severity of the case, he pushed for a substantial bond. Acknowledging the critical nature of the situation, Judge Alden Groggins concurred and set the bond at a hefty $5 million. The judge voiced worries about Ewan's track record of ignoring court orders and underlined the paramount importance of maintaining public safety. Consequently, due to the prevailing circumstances, Ewan was put under suicide watch, and the hearing was scheduled for December 14th to delve further into the case. On the set date, Ewan DeWitt faced not only the murder charge, but also several additional charges brought forth by the Milford police. These encompassed criminal violation of a protective order and a restraining order, risk of injury to a minor, and reckless endangerment. The aim behind these charges was to shed light on the wider scope of Ewan's purported actions and their impact. The court hearing for Ewan DeWitt's ongoing criminal cases is set to take place on the 6th of April 2023, although he has yet to formally enter a plea. Prosecutors have indicated that DeWitt has already admitted to the murder of Julie Minogue, yet the police have not disclosed additional details regarding the hearing. Expressing their resolve in a public statement, the family vowed to pursue justice and ensure that those who failed in their duties are held accountable. They further expressed their aspiration for this case to be a driving force for enhanced safeguards for victims of domestic violence and abuse. The family, unwavering in their dedication, is determined to incite positive change and prevent such devastating events from happening in the future. This case encapsulates a combined effort from law enforcement and the abhorrent actions of a murderer who, in a fit of rage, took the life of his former partner. We welcome your thoughts on this case. Do you believe justice has been adequately served to Ewan? Please share your views in the comments section below. If there are other cases you'd like us to delve into, do let us know in the comments. And remember, your likes, shares, and subscribing to our channel greatly supports our effort to bring you more gripping true crime stories. Until next time, stay vigilant and keep an eye out for the next mystery to unravel.